I'm live. Hello, replay people. Welcome to the first Monday of 2026. So I'm waiting for my audience to build. I'm going to drink a little coffee. I am 38 hours fasted right now, feeling marvelous. I thought I would do a eat every other day kind of situation as I went a little bit all out during the holidays and my birthday and all of that. And I had a great time, but you have to rein yourself in. There's a song that keeps coming up in my head. Hi, Bo. Do you guys remember the movie Tommy? When I was 10 years old, I saw it first time. Then I saw it a million times because it was on HBO, which back then was called Home Box Office. And my parents had it. Not many people did, but I was then given access to a movie I never should have seen. Yay, Sandy's here. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. So I'll just start off kind of, I don't want to demonetize myself, so I'm going to kind of sing you this song. And you're welcome to join me as we wait for everybody. And we sing them this song. I have the words right here, it helps. Welcome to the camp. This is our camp, don't you know? It's the Camp Beach Report. Okay, test out. Hi, Barbara. Welcome to the camp. I guess you all know why we're here. My name is Tommy, and I came aware this year. If you want to follow me, you've got to play pinball. And put in your earplugs, put on your eye shades. You know where to put the ball. Hey, you getting drunk? So sorry, I've got you just. Hey, you smoking Mother Nature? This is a bust. Wait, I gotta stop that. I gotta for a second. Did you hear President Trump decriminalize marijuana like last week? Like right before right before the new year? Kind of amazing, right? Hello, ¿cómo estás? I don't speak Spanish, but go right ahead. Good morning, everybody. Hey, hung up old Mr. Normal, don't try to gain my trust. Yeah, Mr. Normal. Who's Mr. Normal? I am not normal. I'm definitely not normal. Raise your hands if you are, because not me. Because you ain't gonna follow me any of those ways, although you think you must. We're not gonna take it. Do, 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 do. We're not gonna take it. Do, 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 do. We're not gonna take it. Never did, never will. We're not gonna take it. Gonna break it, gonna shake it, just forget it, better still. Oh my goodness. I think it was December. Yeah, when he did that, he opened up studies. Yeah, it's not about recreation at all. It's because it turns out, guess what? THC, actually a real helpful thing. CBD, all the things that come from the hemp plant, marijuana plants. It's important that we do study these things because they are helpful. And hats off to President Trump for acknowledging that. And finally, decriminalizing something that never should have been criminalized in the first place. And hi, Joe, and all of the people who get drunk and become alcoholics, destroy their livers, destroy their lives with alcohol. Is that allowed? All those pills that they give everybody, the oxycodone cotton stuff, all of it. Why is that? But smoking Mother Nature. That's it's about time that it was acknowledged as an actual thing to do to help people. When my husband was dying of cancer, he got his med card here in Florida, and he was able to partake, if you will. And he had never smoked marijuana ever before in his life. He was not a drinker. He was not a user. He was not a smoker at all. But he did turn to it in his last days to help give him some relief from the pain that he had from dying of cancer. So, yeah. Anyway, a two-stroke. No, I don't talk about being pro-pot, but I'm pro anything that helps people. And marijuana has been stigmatized in our society to the point where people who actually get a lot of relief from it are drug addicts, when the real drug addicts are the ones doing the pharmaceutical drugs. Those are the drug addicts. So, but I agree that God helps you, but also God gives you tools to help yourself. See, that's where some people get it wrong. You can't just pray for God to help you and then ignore when he sends you help in the form of tools or in the form of gifts and things that you can use in order to make your life better. I'm sorry, it's really kind of hard for me to see your words because my eyes are not that good right now. Wie geht es dir? Gehst du wieder am Strand spatzen? Yes, I will be going to the beach later. I think it'll be nicer, and I apologize. I'm not at the beach right now, but you don't want to go to the beach I don't want to go to the beach right now. First of all, it's cold. Second of all, it's foggy. You're not going to see anything. And it was raining just a little while ago. So we don't go to the beach when the conditions are not right to go to the beach. If I lived actually in front of the beach and the water, and every now and then I do have that ability to get a nice view without having to actually go out in the elements. But I'm a Floridian. I've lived here for 10 years, and when you live for any amount of time in a tropical climate, your body actually acclimates to it, and your blood becomes thinner, and it makes you cold much faster. It's proven. Ask anybody who to live up north in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I was used to being super cold, and you know what? I did come from nothing, actually. I was born an unwanted pregnancy. A worse thing to be born as, it's something that is now punishable by death. So coming into this world as a baby that nobody wants, because not that I wasn't wanted, that's not true. I wasn't not wanted, but I was unexpected, and God definitely wanted me, definitely. But I was an unexpected appearance in my parents' life, and for several reasons, they decided, well, actually my mother decided to make sure that I would have a good future and a good home, and it was illegal to kill me back then. And my father tried. He told me a big story about how he went to the abortionist, but it was too late. And I was like, really? Like, who tells people this? Anyway, my story is pretty crazy. I don't have my book around here, but I wrote a book about it. So if you are interested in the story of a girl who was adopted as a baby and then cruelly found by my biological father, who just showed up at my dorm room in college. Hello. Didn't tell me who he was. I had to figure that one out, which I did because I'm smart. Anyway, yeah, it's a good story. It's a coming of age story, and it's a time traveling story because it takes you back into the 80s. I am a writer, an author, a journalist, but I love to create real life. I'm a copycat, if you will. As an artist, I like to copy real life. I don't like things to be too abstract. I like things to be kind of the same, but on paper, if that makes any sense. So yes, please hit the like button. Oh, Waltz just dropped off the re-election. Oh, did that happen? I thought it was at 11. Wait a minute. I got my computer in front of me so we can check out what is happening live right now. I have been watching live stream of, oh, but it ended because I was talking to you guys, of Maduro and outside the courthouse where he's supposed to make his first appearance, which was really, and it doesn't look like he did make any appearance, so I don't know. And by the way, I'm not looking at any of the messages held for right now. I don't have time for that. And if y'all are saying something disgusting, then I don't want to see it. Because you know what? That I do want to talk quickly about the trolls. So those of you who come on this page and maybe you're paid to say nasty things to a conservative, MAGA, American loving woman like me, if that's the case, then you'll be kicked off pretty fast by my moderators. If you actually don't understand what's going on in the world right now, and you see somebody like me as maybe a threat to your unknowingness, then stick around and we'll educate you and we'll help you get through this time, because I know a lot of people have given their lives up to this system, if you will, the machine. And I wasn't born that way, like being adopted as a baby and being told I was adopted like immediately, it kind of made me think, oh, like I can be anyone. I can do anything. I had my identity, quite frankly, stolen from me, which is what I think about adoptees. We have our identity taken from us and we're not allowed to know who we are, as far as we're not allowed to know who our parents are. We're now not allowed to know if we have brothers or sisters. We're not allowed to know any of that, and it's not right. Oh, thank you so much. Yay, yay, hot chocolate. Here, I'll drink some coffee because now I want hot chocolate. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I am 38 hours fasted right now. So, and a little bit over caffeinated maybe. Because when you're fasting, you are allowed to drink coffee. Black coffee, and my coffee has a little something something in it, which is organic baking. I love organic baking soda in my coffee. You should try it. To me, and I drink instant coffee, which I know sounds like crazy, but it's Cafe Bustelo. It's Cuban. It reminds me of my husband, drinking it because of him. So it's kind of those little habits that, as a widow, I keep him in my life in these ways, things like I don't turn his phone off. In fact, I'm recording this show right now on his phone, which I've come to use as like it's my second phone. But at the same time, I was still tricking myself when I text myself from that phone to my other phone, and it's like, oh look, Ray's calling me. I get all excited like for half a second, and then I'm then I know what the truth is, but it just feels good in that half a second he's still alive. I don't know if that makes sense to those of you who have not gone through it, but if you have, I think you know exactly what I mean. Because a lot of people are like, Jill, your husband's been gone for more than 3 years. You have to get over that. And I'm over it in the way that I understand that he's gone, but at the same time, he's still my husband. So I'm not over that. I don't feel like I have to get over that. I feel like I have a husband and he's in heaven. That's it. That's it. I'm still married. I'm not looking for another husband. I'm not looking to date anyone. I don't want anyone else in my life. I'm quite happy with being the widow of Ray Becerra. I'm actually very proud of that because I'm proud of him. And he was an amazing person. And I'm writing a book about him so that his memory goes on. And I have to keep reminding myself every day that, it's kind of hard for me to work on his book because I've got videos and I've got like audio recordings that we made when he was dying. And there were times that we would fall asleep in bed and I'd fall asleep, but he would be talking and talking and talking, and he'd be, all of a sudden he'd realize that I'm not awake anymore. And he'd be like, baby, you awake? And I'm like, it's okay, baby, just keep talking, because I knew that the recorder was getting it. And I still haven't listened to some of those recordings. My book is about mothers who lost their babies and babies who lost their mothers, because it's the same, Moon. Babies who lose their mothers are maybe the most traumatized. And mothers who lose their babies, they also get over that. So it is a big deal. Anyway, my drama is soft. I'm not sure what that means, but it's real is all it is. And I try not to over dramatize anything, but I just want to tell the truth, you know, and I want people to have their voices heard. I don't think that you have to be super famous to be out there. Like, no one knows who I am. I am so nobody. And I started my career as a journalist behind the scenes. You know, I was the newspaper writer. Nobody looks at the names of the people who are writing your newspaper articles, I guarantee that. But well, every now and then they do. If you write something really good, they might notice you. But I was a working journalist since 1987, writing articles. And then I went into television for a little while, and that was super fun. And I wrote for Nickelodeon for kids television. And that was amazing. Moon says, I'm from the third world, stand for good. If you are good, stop supporting Trump. Well, if you are good, why don't you make your third world better? Why don't you stay in your country and not tell us what to do in our country? Because we don't care. We don't care what you think anymore. We have done everything we can to help you. And we have opened up our doors, our borders, invited y'all in. I didn't do that personally, but and I also have immigrated. I immigrated to Switzerland. So, and did you steal oil, Moon? That's not nice. Who are you accusing? You know, you don't know anything. If you're from the third world, then you're probably not very educated, and that's just a fact. I'm not making fun of you or anything. I'm just saying third world means not very educated. Third world means not like y'all are still fighting with each other, clans and stuff, and you're subjugating women and putting veils over their heads so you can't see them because you hate them so much. So yeah, and I'm glad that you're a doctor, but in the country you can't be a doctor. So it's just what it is. I mean, where did you get your education from? Is it from here, from my country? Because there aren't too many great universities in third world countries, are there? I feel sorry for you, but I wish that you would be a doctor in your own country. If you live in your third world country, then help your people. And I'm not ignorant of any visas or anything, because I've done it. I have moved from America to Switzerland. I became a Swiss citizen. I lived there for 10 years. Then I moved back to my country, and I had to be sponsored with my family. I made my children naturalized American citizens. My husband back then was a green card holder. We followed all the rules. We paid all the fees. We did everything. And unfortunately, Colleen doesn't understand the words that I'm saying. And I feel sorry for you, Colleen, because you are a result probably of the horrible school districts in our country. That's another thing. Education. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah. Discernment matters. Thank you, Bo. It's so true. But, you know, right now, the people in the United States of America are waking up to the fact that the third world countries have been used by our own government officials to steal from us. So that's how we're now looking at third world countries, as in, I mean, many of you are thieves. And maybe you didn't mean to be thieves, but you came to this country under false pretenses. And you didn't come here to be an American. You came here to whatever country you're from in our country and then use us to fund your own country. And it's just, we're done with it. We're so sick of it. So, you come on and you tell us not to support the one president, the one man who actually has our backs for once and is letting all of the truth come out, the fact that the American people have been horribly used and abused. It's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. So go back to your third world country. Please make it better. Please take everything that you have learned from America and take it back to your country. So, yes, you're right. Is that Nectar Strokes? I live in New York City. You sound like a very sweet person. I am. You are honest. But I have met people from the third world with good education but different values. And that's fine. And I'm glad they have good education. But they have different values. That's the point. Why are you in my country with your different values trying to force different values upon me? It's not right. And if you love America, then you love being American. And we are very special people here in America. And we are not like in Europe. And I know I lived in Europe for 10 years. Don't forget, I became a Swiss citizen. And you cannot become a Swiss citizen unless you assimilate with the Swiss. And I did my best to do that. I learned their dialect. I learned to read German. I learned everything I needed to become a member of my community and raise my children as Swiss. Then one day, my husband was like, didn't want to live there anymore. It was his idea. I quite frankly had adopted the Swiss citizenship as my own because I was tired of living in America. Back in the 80s and 90s, I was a young adult and I was starting to learn the ways of the world. Believe me, I wasn't impressed. And also, as an adopted child, I did not appreciate the fact that they stole my identity and wouldn't give it. In fact, they let my biological father stalk me. Let this happen. They didn't even warn us that it could happen. And I felt really, used and abused by everybody. And I saw everybody getting fat. And I saw all the food. Oh my gosh, the food that they eat, that we eat here in America. And I say we, but I don't eat this food. Like I said, I'm 38 hours, I'm 43 minutes fat. I would rather eat nothing than eat the crap that they sell us in America. And when I lived in Switzerland, I learned about fresh food. And the Swiss were making fun of the food that we eat as Americans. And at first I was offended. And then I was like, hey, yeah, you're actually right. You're actually right. In Switzerland, the old people, and I'm considered an old person. I'm 60 years old. 60. And old people in Switzerland, they have old people homes, but they're not with people in wheelchairs who can't get around by themselves and need nurses with them every day. They're people that don't want to be around children. The rule of the old people home is you don't let the children in. We want to see them. We don't want to hear them. That's what old people do in Switzerland. They enjoy their time without children getting in their way. That's all. What are we talking about? Indians? Yeah, I always have someone come on this show who's like a Native American and just hates America and just goes off. But see, on the Beach Report, I honor the Native Americans. And I will go down to the Everglades and I will show you the indigenous people who live there. And they are alive and well. And we've got the Seminoles, we've got the Miccosukees, we've got 2 amazing tribes in the Everglades. And I learned about them from who used to be outreach for the Seminole tribe. He worked for them for 20 years and he was Cuban. And so another thing is that I have to say is the thing in Venezuela. Oh my gosh. My husband in heaven is so excited right now. He is so happy. I know his reaction would have been just like, you know, like the same kind of reaction upon hearing that Castro had passed. Hearing that Maduro was captured, all the Cubans are celebrating, at least the Cubans who live in America and have chosen freedom above living in a socialist, communist socialist. I think it's all the same. It's all the same. I don't support anybody who is in a group, by the way. I don't support groups. I support the individual. Because if you look at yourself and others as individuals who are all different than you are in many ways, then you will look at them with respect. I don't care if you belong to you're the Jewish group, you're the LGBTQ whatever group, you're the black group, you're the this group, you're the that group. That's how they control us. You have to every one of you, look at yourself as an individual. And nobody has the same life experiences as you do. You can even be a twin and you don't have the same life experiences as your twin. You've been raised same people, everything. You're still an individual. You know, don't you think that twins are maybe thinking, oh, you know, I want to be the only one. We don't have, we can't look at people like you were this or you were that. We all have our things that make us humans. You know, one group of people who I do represent and who won't have a voice and will never have a voice are all of the aborted children. Yeah, those are my people. All of the people who aren't here because their parents, for whatever reason, thought that it would be too difficult if they were in the world, that these little tiny people would somehow ruin their future. That hurts. It's so wrong. I have arguments all the time with people who think that little tiny babies out of the room are like blank pages. They're like blobs, right? That is so, what's the word? Not misogynistic. That's against women. It's like you're so superior. You think you're so special, like that you're so much better than that little baby who was just born, and you have no idea who that little person has the potential to be. And you think that you can just end life because they're small and they can't fight back and it would be so easy. It's not. It's not. I was that baby. And I am so grateful that my country illegalized killing babies like me. And my brother and my sister. And we were adopted. And being adopted isn't the easiest thing either, I'll tell you what. But it's better than not being here. You know, who are you to say I don't deserve life? Who are you to say that I was born at the wrong time should just be, you know, it's not fair. It's not right. I wish that people would acknowledge that. So that's the group that if I represent any group, I represent those people. And they're not here to speak themselves, so I'll speak for them. So by the way, this show is sponsored by myself. I am a one-woman show, and my website is called JillBooks.com, JILLBOOKS. Jill writes books and publishes books.com. So I've just become a publisher. At the end of the year, I was like, I'm going to do it now. I want to help other people be able to tell their stories. As a journalist, that was always my view, was to tell other people's stories, not necessarily my own. I don't really like to talk about myself, but I do realize that I'm not a normal person, and I am an inspirational person because I don't live like a lot of you thinking that the world just kind of wishes me along and I got to do what everybody's doing. I don't. I look at everything like, what can I do differently? Or what do my gifts and talent that the Lord gave me, how can I use them to make the world a better place for everybody? Because we're here on this earth to learn, to actually become better people, I mean, you know, that song, We Are Spirits in the Material World. Well, that's what we are. And we are all wearing our people suits. Sometimes I call it a meat suit, and that sounds kind of gross. True. And I think it's really sad when people listen to what I'm saying and they're insulted. I don't know why you would be insulted. I'm not insulting you. I don't know you. And like you said, I don't know anything about you. But I know that you're an individual person, or you might be a bot. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. People come on this show and say absolutely horrendous, crazy things to me. And I think, are you real? Like, if we're walking down the street, stop and look at me and go, wow, you are old. Look at you. Look at your face. You're so flippin' old. How dare you walk down the street next to me? You know, like, would you do that to a real person? Well, I'm a real person. And I don't need to be treated like this. Like, here's this person says, try lithium. And you know what? That is the problem with our society, is everybody wants to be on drugs. Everybody wants you to do drugs. And look at you pushing drugs. And that's why Maduro, by the way, is in jail, because of the drugs. If you don't realize it, the drugs are what have destroyed our society. And the pursuit of the drugs. And the pursuit of the power and the money and all of it. When we're not here for that. We're here to learn. We're here to become better. You don't get better by stepping over other people. I had this guy tell me that in order to be successful and make a lot of money, you have to be an asshole. That's what he told me. And I looked at him and I was like, then I guess I will never be successful and make money in your book. And that's fine with me. I don't want to have to be an asshole to do that. I don't want to deny anybody anything. It's not up to me, you know? We are all individuals. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. If you would all look at yourselves, don't look at people. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Worry about what you're doing. Worry about how you talk to other people. And if you say things on this show, someone says, I'm whiter than you. I go in the sun and I change colors quickly. It's kind of amazing. But yes, I love the sun. I'm a sun worshiper. You can see my 11s here are white because I'm always like in the sun. But that's just me, you know, like I don't care what you guys think about my wrinkles on my face or my hair or my body. It doesn't matter because I am me, just being myself, living my own life. Why don't you worry about yourself and living your own life and realizing that when you talk to people, I mean, I don't know who you are that come on my show and feel like you have to say things to me to cut me down somehow. You know, you're just showing everybody who you are. When you come on my show and you say things like, hey, good morning, Nicole Superstar. And then you see who Nicole is. She's a happy, upbeat person, and I love her. So, you know, you can present yourself on this show any way that you want to. It's to you. You show us who you are. And then it's up to us to decide how we feel about it or not, you know? Like the person who feels like I've been insulting them this whole time. I do not even know who you are. I'm not even looking at you. I don't even care. If you feel insulted, that's your choice. There's something else that people don't understand, especially the younger people. You choose your reactions to everything. So if you want to be insulted, you will be insulted. If you want to be angry, you're going to be angry because you choose that yourself. And if you choose to be happy and if you choose to laugh at the people who are coming at you with the negativity, if you choose to look at it like, oh my gosh, you showed us who you are again. Woo, that doesn't look at thank you for the heart. Then we know. Then we know who you are. So, anyway, I'll let you talk amongst yourselves. I got to drink a little bit of my coffee here. And yeah, I see some of the nasty comments. And do you think it matters to me? It doesn't. You're just showing us who you are. Oh, thank you for the pretty rose. You guys are kind. Most people are kind, by the way. The majority of people are really, really wonderful. And the majority of people here on the Beach Report, they're the best. They're the best people you will meet. So, I just wish everybody would stop commenting on the color of your skin and that, we are all being puppeteered in this world, if you will. We're being told to hate each other by, oh, that one's skin is dark, that one's from a different country, and that one's this and that one's that. Like, please stop. Stop with it. Look at yourself. How can you make your own life better? Well, I'm a writer. Every part of you tells a story. That's what I say. And that's right. Thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. And yes, I'm a writer. I'm a journalist. My whole life I've been doing that. My whole life I've been observing the world and all the people in it. And when I come to the conclusion here in 2026, and I am quite shocked. It's funny, I say shocked and you send that. We're all on the same wavelength, right? And it is about wavelength. It's about frequency. It's about everybody either being upbeat and positive or being super horrible and hating on everybody and getting violent and nasty, like way at you. There's no need in 2026 for beating on people. Hey, Nicole, what are you doing today? Great question. Glad you asked. I am working on 2 new books today. One is my own story, which is actually the sequel to Do You Think About Me on My book? So I would ask each and every one of you watching, and even those of you who on me and say whatever you want to say, but please do anyway, go and check out my website, jillbooks.com, JILLBOOKS.com. I'm not trying to sell you anything I haven't created all by myself. And I'm not on here trying to rip you off or anything like that. In fact, if you think you want to tell your own life story in a book, I can do if I want to help you. You have to be nice to me though. But no, seriously, that's another thing. When people are coming at you with a lot of negativity and you just, you want to try to kill them with kindness, that's one thing and that's fine. But when people come into your world and your country and they then tell you that you're doing it wrong and they don't like anything about you, but they're, on your doorstep, wanting to benefit from your wonderful life that your grandparents built, or your grandparents built, or even yourself, and it's just not right. I hope and pray, as far as the Venezuelans go, I hope and pray that all of the Venezuelans who fled their country because they were being ripped off and all of their oil was stolen from them and all of the riches that they ever had was taken from them, and they were then treated to eating bugs, off the floor. That's kind of the way it was. And those who left because they couldn't take it because they were going to die, they didn't leave to find a better life. Venezuela was a very good life. I know this for a fact because I have friends who are Venezuelan. I also know this for a fact because my husband was Cuban. He escaped Cuba. And believe it or not, he was a communist back in the day when he was younger, during the Cuban Revolution. My husband worked for Castro. And then he realized, because sometimes people, they just got to learn from the truth of the matter and the experience and the facts. Communism doesn't work. It's never worked. And it's only good for the people at the top. And that's right, Venezuelan democracy has to be just restored. It used to be a wonderful place to live. And then the communists from countries like China, Iraq, Iran, what's the other communist countries that have been controlling Venezuela? I don't know. I'm not the greatest with the geopolitical scene on that one, but I do know people who are here from Venezuela. and husband from Cuba. So I know when you are escaping a communist regime that you take your freedom very seriously. So it is my wish that the Venezuelans will go back to Venezuela. Even though we love you. I have friends who are Venezuelan. I love you. But my dream is to see you go back there, take what you've learned from living in America for the past 10 years or so, and make Venezuela great again. Really. And we'll come and visit you. But I really do want to see these people who came to my country escaping horrible regimes go back. Go back and kick them out. Madagascar. That's what's happening there. Do Iran next. Do Cuba next. President Trump has been so helpful in fomenting peace all over the world. And those of you who hate him, you might be a criminal. Or you might be stupid. Or you're uneducated. I don't know what's wrong with you if you can't see the truth by now. I don't really have any patience for the things that you say. But yes, I am live, Gracie. Hello, my sweet. Glad you're here. Hi, Jetty. Hey, Vernon. So I do want to say a little something about the trolls today and always on my show. And we know that some of them are paid. Some of them are not even real. Some of them are people who need to hear the truth. And regardless of which category the troll falls into, well, that's not true. The ones who are really vile and stuff, we're still going to kick you off and report you. So if you say nasty sexual things, if you're spewing, really bad rhetoric, violence, and so much hatred, then you will get kicked off by me or one of my mods. But if you are simply confused about what's going on, be respectful and try to learn. And listen to everybody else in the chat. Because there are more people in my chats now, more patriots, I know. I'm so glad you guys are here, than there are trolls. So I'm going to let you guys all handle it. We'll all handle it together. Sometimes I notice it, sometimes I don't. But Jetty says they can focus their efforts on me. I'm a good punching bag. Aw, Jetty, you're the best. You're one of my faves. Do I still have the yachts? What do you mean? What yachts, Nicole? I want to have the yachts, but yeah, I still live by the yachts. So yeah, we'll be doing yacht shows. Anyway, that's something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. So the Beach Report is a show like no other on YouTube. Because as a journalist, I was always kind of more like a magazine journalist, even though I wrote for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette for a really long time. But I have a lot of interest in everything. And I am not that interested, actually, in politics. Well, I never was. But now it seems like we have to be interested in politics because the world is changing right in front of our eyes. And this is why I'm doing this show in particular, too. I want everybody who is with me on the Beach Report to learn how to take control of your own life. Thank you. Thank you for the gorgeous comment. I appreciate it. Oh, there's Samit. Hi, Samit. I want you guys to understand that every single one of you is very precious in the eyes of your Creator. And you have the opportunity to make your life better. And you don't do it by other people down, I can tell you that. You do it by always wanting to be positive. If you pass by somebody and they look sad and angry, give them a smile. Or not. Some didn't do it. It depends on who it is, always. Read the room. But in general, try to spread positivity. Because when you spread negativity, it hurts everybody, but it hurts the most. And I know, Nicole, that the internet isn't great, but you know what? Let's make the internet great again. Do you remember, were many of you alive when the internet was created, when it went online? Because I'll never forget the day. It was 1996. And I had just given birth to a little baby boy. So my son is exactly as old as the internet is. And back then it was the wild and it was crazy cakes. And we were all like, look at this and look at that. And what the heck is going on here? And I remember the beginning of YouTube, and I was quite impressed with it. I was like, wow, this is very cool. You know, people seem to forget we didn't always live like this. And I only came onto social media in 2015. I wanted nothing to do with it. I'm a professional writer. The thought of just giving it away made me sick. And now I'm giving it away. But you know what? It just doesn't matter anymore, because one reason why I became a journalist. I became a journalist because I wanted to be able to tell the stories of other people. I wanted to affect other people in ways that, you know, I had read books and articles and stuff that made me think, and I wanted to be that person who people think. I wanted to also have a really interesting life, to do things that other people don't get to do simply because of my press pass, because I'm a journalist. And you can't buy that stuff with money, unfortunately. Oh, there's Fred. Hi, Fred. Yeah, Fred's in the house. Unfortunately, the journalists now are mostly propaganda. You can only tell the people who are not making money in journalism who are actually doing it right. And shout out to Nick. I think Nick Shirley, he's probably making a lot of money because I would hope that he is monetized on YouTube and everything. So he's probably doing pretty well right about now. It does seem that when you go viral, all of a sudden you can make a lot of money doing this. It's possible. I have yet to see it, but you know what? I'm not going to knock it, because I started doing YouTube in earnest just over a year ago. This time last year, I probably had made 20 bucks. That was it. So it's taken me a year to really, you know, get through it. And now I'm making more than $200 a month. And people are like, you make more than $100 a month and you're happy about that? I know it's not much. It doesn't cover even my car payment, but it's better than nothing. And it goes up every day. And so maybe someday the algorithm or whatever will push me up, then I'll make money. I don't know. I hope. For now, actually, I rely on my members group. 41 members in a year. I think that's wonderful. And all of my members are people who, and they're not people who've even been following me for the past 10 years. Some of them are, but some of them are just new people who believe in what I'm doing and my mission, which I kind of treat my journalism as a ministry, you know, because I have God in everything that I do, and I walk the walk. I talk the talk, I walk the walk. I do it, I say what I'm doing and do it. And I tell you guys, like, I've been living my life online for the past 10 years. I don't have anything to hide. I'm pretty much, well, I'm squeaky clean. I'm not a criminal. I didn't take any PPE money during the COVID at all. I didn't take anything from anybody, and I never would, and I never do. So I just thing, and I like to get other people noticed, you know. And I love really good music, so that's something else I do on the Beach Report. Is we've got lots of really amazing bands all over South Florida, all over Florida, all over the country. Actually, wherever I go, I manage to find the best music, and I always show you guys. So anyway, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Alligator rhythm. I love alligators, by the way, and I also do like to take you guys on alligator safaris and show you the alligators and where they live. Gray Ghost. When they took God out of school, they left the door open for the devil, and he waltzed right in. Facts right there, Jetty. Take God out of anything, and you basically destroy the society. Everybody needs something to believe in, you know? The atheists running around saying, there's no God, but throw a natural disaster their way and you know who they'll be crying for. Good morning, Tex. Good morning. Oh, Grey Ghost is calling it the alligator rhythm. That's okay. I get you, Grey Ghost. Yeah, dude, that's funny. Yeah, it's instead of alligator rhythm. I'm using that actually. I knew there was a reason why I saw that comment because it's important. Alligator rhythm. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. It's perfect. Thank you. Nicole's got the verse of the day. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the, what is that word? Renewing of your mind. Ye may prove what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. That's from Romans 12:2. Thank you. That is perfect. That is perfect. Hi, Paul. The path reveals itself to those who walk it with sincerity. We renew daily. So, so true. So every one of you watching, and especially, Grey Ghost does funny shorts on his Meeker channel, his or hers. We don't know. Sometimes I'm sorry if I gender you. But everybody check out Grey Ghost. I mean, if you're on the Beach Report, we support each other. So I think it is a full verse, Nicole. And I love it when my followers come on and throw Bible verses onto the show. I will always read them because it is the best. Okay, Grey Ghost is the guy. All right, good to know, good to know. I try to remember, but don't forget, I'm 60 years old. My memory is failing. No, that's not true. My memory's not failing. My long-term memory is actually really, really good. And I'm starting to think, see, here's one of the reasons also why I fast and why I don't drink alcohol. Because I'm thinking, if I like deter myself from really thinking clearly, I'm hurting myself, and that's what alcohol does. It takes away your ability to think clearly, and that's what they want. Same with the drug, all the stuff. Hallo, Deutschland. Hello, Michael. Michael, I've learned something really interesting that I want to further look into here on the Beach Report, and that's the fact that the Miccosukee tribe of Indians, now their flag looks very German. Have you noticed that, Michael? Do you know anything about this? But one of my friends, shout out to Carolyn, although she's not even on social media, but anyway, she's like in her 80s. She's amazing though. Carolyn has told me though that the Miccosukee tribe is very Germanic, that there many of them are German. I don't know what's going on there, blowing my mind, but we got to check that out, right? I know, Paul. You know what? Correct, and thanks subscription, and good job. Larry, do you think I don't have enough jobs? By the way, Larry wants me to get a job. Well, maybe I can write your next book, Larry. I'm an author, an editor. Check out my website, jillbooks.com, because I sell books. I'm a publisher, and I'm a storyteller, but actually true stories. I don't know what kind of job you think I should get. Maybe I should go work at Walmart or something. Wait, no, don't do that. It's funny when people say things like that to me. I just have to laugh at you because again, Larry's a person who is projecting onto me. Larry probably doesn't have a job. Larry would probably never get in front of millions of people and just start talking to them with any kind of self-esteem. So it's Larry that we have to be worried about. And I'm sorry to point you out, Larry, but you did just show who you are and make us realize that, people like you, again, look at yourself instead of pointing your finger at other people, because you don't know anything about me. Yeah, Larry, you should read my books. Absolutely. Do you know many people who write books? And some of my friends are like, Jill's an author. I don't know anyone else who's an author. Oh, I know a lot of authors, but I gotta say, it's not easy to write books. And I want to talk about that too, especially if you are thinking about writing your own story. And maybe Larry's got a super good story. I don't know. I'm thinking he's just a random troll who wants to say something nasty, but we all see you, Larry. So you're part of the conversation right now. So if you do want to write your own story, I know a lot of people are using Chat GPT for help with that, and it can be very helpful. It can help you to organize your thoughts. Do not let it write for you. Everybody knows what it sounds like now when Chat GPT writes for you, because here's the fact. Every writer, every good writer that is, has a voice, a very distinctive voice. Like when I write something, you know it's me. You can hear my voice. It just like when you hear Barbara Streisand sing, you know it's Barbara. You know, you can hear somebody else who sounds just like Whitney Houston, and you're like, that's Whitney because it's her voice. And people can copy other people's voices. That's fact. Everybody has their own voice when they write. Now, if you use ChatGPT to write your book, your story, then you'll be using ChatGPT's voice, and everybody's gonna know. Greg goes, Larry's book is titled, Mom is About to Kick Me Out of the Basement. Could well be. Could well be. That's usually why people like Larry come on my show. Because you know they have to make money somehow, and I think somebody's paying them to come and say these things to me. So I don't know. They might also be jealous. I don't know what the problem is with Larry, but this is my job, Larry. You're looking at it. And I do get paid to do this too. It's not a lot, but it is always something. So I have to subsidize myself, because I don't steal from my fellow American taxpayers. I don't ask them to do anything for me. I don't even have health insurance, and I don't have subsidized health insurance, and I pay my taxes and all of that good stuff, because I am an individual working on myself, and very clearly has not read my books. I think really it's super important right now. We're making fun of Larry right now, but I really do wish that people like Larry would start working on yourself. Don't point your fingers at other people you know nothing about, trying to spread your negativity. It's only hurting you, because I don't think you're even in the chat anymore. I think you ran away with your tail between your legs. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Gracie, he probably hasn't read many books in general. So do you have to drive to the beach, or can you just walk? It depends on where I am, Nicole, because I'm always in different places. When my husband passed away 3 years ago, I lost the home that I had with him, and I lost everything. And I don't want to talk about that because I want it to be inspiring and not a sad story. I'm no victim. And the people who stole everything from me, and you know who you are, but they did it because they were jealous, and because they thought that I had too much, or they thought that somehow I owed them something, which I didn't owe them anything. And I was as nice as I could be while my husband was alive, and was quite shocked into complete criminals right in front of my very eyes. It's terrible, Nicole. It is, but it's okay, because it's me than somebody who can't deal with things like that. I'm so lucky. I'm one of the most adaptable people you will ever meet. I can pretty much get through anything. And living on a dilapidated farm in a dilapidated farmhouse with a dying husband for 3 years. No, 2 years. No, that was 2 years. It felt like 3. It was 2. It was hard. But it was part of my life, and I did it because I loved my husband. So what you won't do for love, you tried everything, but you don't give up. That's me. I do it all for love. I do. It's for love. For love of my fellow people, for love of my country, love of my children, love of my family, love of my pets who aren't even here anymore, but I still love them. The dogs that I babysit for, I dog sit now. I lost my little dog almost exactly a year ago. So I'm rolling up on that anniversary, and it is in a lot of ways worse than losing my husband. You know, I could almost bear losing Ray because I had Muffin, but now they're one of them. So Jesus is the only name to remember. Thank you, Grey Ghosty. You are so right. Bye, Nicole. See you later. Love you. Um, everybody in my life is amazing. So I am not a lonely person. And like I said, Nicole was asking if I have to walk to the beach. So sometimes I'm in a place where I can be right there, and other times I might have to drive. Other times I can walk. It depends. I have friends all over Florida and the United States who welcome me into their home. And I dog sit, and I find lots of ways to live without living in one place anymore. I've never lived alone before in my life, so why start now, right? So I'm everybody's favorite house guest or dog sitter or house sitter or whatever. Everywhere I go, I am of service. And that's how I live now. I used to say I'm homeless because I am without a home, but some people got angry at me for that because I'm not the homeless person on the streets. I'm not addicted to anything. I'm not having a bad life. I'm having a wonderful life. And I right now don't even think I want to live any one place, because then I'd miss out on seeing all my friends all the time. And I go everywhere. So I think it's great. It's the best life I've ever had. And now that unfortunately, my dog never held me back from doing anything, but I am even more free without having to situation, which, having a dog, it does kind of limit places you can go and things you can do. So I miss her like crazy, but at the same time, I'm taking advantage of, because who knows what can happen in the future. And who knows who I might have to take care of in the future. I'm not ruling that out either, because it seems to happen. I have to take care of somebody. So, and then we have rude people come on, and we're just going to have to kick them off because it's gross. Like, why? Yeah, I guess you missed the whole thing I was talking about. Joe, I'm a widow. So I'm married. My husband is in heaven. That's all. Grey Ghost, this is great. You just said you live in a motorhome, and I have been asked to do motorhome shows. And my sister just moved to a motorhome, so it's really interesting, and a lot of people are looking into RV living. So I'm going to do some shows about that, and we'll learn about it. There are drawbacks, and there are benefits, and all sorts of different reasons to live in a home and to not live in a motorhome. So I get the best of both worlds, because I'm able to go everywhere and do everything. So, and I can then tell you guys what's going on. What's going on? And sing it to you too. What's going on? Yeah. I'm going to sing whether you like it or not. So if you don't like my voice, you probably don't follow the Beach Report, because I do break into song regularly. It's kind of what I do. Gracie says, if I had the money, I'd get you a van. Vans are I love that. Thank you, Gracie. But I don't need a van. I have a car, and I do live out of my car. I don't live in my car. There is a difference. But I do live out of my car, and it doesn't need to be a van. I actually like that it's small, and that I'm not bringing attention to myself in any way. It's just a small, car like everybody else's. It's nothing special, but it gets me where I'm going. It's hybrid for one, which is great because I'm saving on gas, but I'm still managing to use a lot of gas because I drive everywhere. But imagine how much gas I would use if I didn't have a hybrid car. There's that. One of the drawbacks, by the way, of a hybrid car is that you cannot get your battery wet under any circumstances, and it's a back seat. So here in Florida, we have our floods. In fact, where I live in Fort Lauderdale, we have something called a king tide, which means the parking lot is going to flood. Pretty much has been happening flood. Like, I saw that water. It was over my tires and almost up to my exhaust pipe. And that is way too close for comfort for me. And I couldn't get it out of there because, that's a lot of water. So I have to be really careful. And usually I just take my car and I go somewhere else. A houseboat. A houseboat would be great too. However, hurricanes. I don't know, houseboat sounds great, but you are kind of stuck. You can't just like go out your front door and, start walking. So I know houseboat sounds wonderful, and I would love to live that way for a while. I've been on cruises that's like houseboat enough for me. So um, many different ways to live, but Jill lives out of her car and travels everywhere and sees everyone. And this summer is going to be travel mania. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited because I have to go up north end of April, I think. Is when I'm going to go. I'm starting to plan it now. So if you are on the way from South Florida up through the whole northeast of this country, of the United States of America, then let me know. I am cooking up book tours, and I want to do a tour. I want to go out and talk to people. I've done it a little bit. Easy for me to do it in Pittsburgh because that's my old stomping grounds, and they all remember me as a journalist. So I can always have library talks and everything in Pittsburgh, and I love that. But I do want to branch out to other places. So if you do have an idea for a venue or something, or you have a club or you need a speaker, let me know. I'm just putting it out there. You're 16. Well, hello, Miracle. I'm glad you're here. Oh, wait, you took your message away. I saw that. Miracle. I'm glad you're here. And I do have some teenagers who watch the Treeport, and y'all are welcome. And I also want everybody else remembering that there are teenagers on, it's okay, Miracle. There are teenagers on the Beach Report, and please mind your P's and Q's because the kids are watching, and it is up to us to shape the next generation. You know what I said about the Swiss not liking children, like the old Swiss, they don't like children. And I laugh about that, but I think it's sad because I think that the grandparents and the grandchildren, there's a reason why we have very great relationships with each other, or why we should have great relationships with each other, is because old people and young people need to teach each other. People need to give the old people that kind of energy that they have, because energy is infectious. And the old people need to give the wisdom to the young people because they don't know. Oh, I always have a good time at the block parties. There's a block party tonight, but I'm on the West Coast this week, most of this week. I'll be back over on the East Coast next week. And one of my very favorite bands, they're like an amazing Boston tribute. They'll be playing on the 17th, I believe. So you guys are not going to miss that. Smoking Renegades. I know these guys in the band because I've been following them a lot. And somebody asked one of the guys when I got band was like, who is this girl? And he's like, oh, she's one of our groups. Totally. I am totally one of their groupies. And you guys should be their groupie too, because they're amazing. I have so much fun, and it is being the band Boston. So, and Journey. They do Boston and Journey. Blowing, and they're so great. So, and they're all live, so that's the other thing. I love to bring live music to everybody. So thank you for subscribing, Miracle. I'm super glad you're here. And if you ever have any questions of anything, you just ask, and we will do our best to answer you or to help you get through life, because being a teenager these days, my heart goes out. It's not fun like it was when I was a teenager back in the 80s. Seriously. The 80s. You want to know what the 80s like? Buy my book, Do You Think About Me on My Birthday? That was the 80s. It's about coming of age in the 80s. Yeah. Okay, great Ghost. The guy that sings sounds just like Steve Perry. Just like him. It's like amazing. So, yes, I love to have the teenagers on the Beach Report chat. Wonderful. But yeah, y'all missed the 80s, but you can read my books and they'll take you back to the 80s, because that's what I do. Because it really was like that. In fact, yeah, now where's Jazz and her friends? we have a group of teenagers, believe it or not, here on the Beach Report. And I want everyone to realize that, okay? So Great Ghost is a fellow Gen Xer. Yeah, I'm one of the first Gen Xers. I was 5 years before you, Great Ghost. So I am 17, going on 60. I'll depend on myself. Well, we have to do other two. But again, My message today is everybody be an individual. Yes, you're my YouTube channel child. Miracle, you're not the only one, but you are definitely welcome to be one of my YouTube channel child, my Beach Report children, let's say, because this isn't just YouTube. This is the Beach Report, and it's super special. And you're here for a reason, Miracle. And that reason is that God loves you very much, very much. Anybody who comes across my path, I know that God loves you and you're here for a reason. Right, Jetty? Jetty knows. Jetty's in between seatbelts and iPhones. Wait, what? You're not wearing a seatbelt and you're not on an iPhone. I don't know. It sounds dangerous and safe at the same time. Oh, Gen X is representative of death. Well, again, I know some people words, they say words matter, and they do. But at the same time, meaning matters too. So I do think it's important that if you have just a thought about yourself, I say Gen X because that's what it is. But yeah, I am the generation that kind of went feral, if you will. We were the kids, we were the latchkey kids. We were wacky. I was telling one of my friends, and Boomer, exactly 10 years older than I am, and she's like, during the 80s, I was raising my kids. I wasn't doing anything, going anywhere. And I was like, wow, I really feel sorry for you. Yeah, totally. Because I started out the 80s. I'll tell you this quick story. So when I was 15 years old, my parents sent me to California, Northridge, California. And I lived with a family for a month. And the family had a daughter who was deaf, and she was my age, and then a son who was a little younger than me, and he wasn't deaf. But anyway, they're a really nice family, and I lived with them for a month to get to see what it was like in California, I guess. I'm not really sure why they sent me there, but they did. Anyway, these kids, Northridge, California, was a very beautiful neighborhood, and then an earthquake started there, like in 1989, I think it was the Northridge earthquake. Look that one up. Anyway, that was shocking. But back then, I was 15. It was 1980. And these kids that I was with, the family, they went to school with the Zappa kids. And for those of you who are too young to understand any of this, I'm explaining to you how the 80s began, okay? Like, we were different teenagers in the 80s. So I'm 15, and Moon Unit and Dweezil Zappa, that's their names, and that's pretty weird for us. But anyway, they go to school with these kids that I'm living with. So Moon Unit starts this song called Valley Girl. And it goes, Valley Girl, she's a Valley Girl. Okay, fine, for sure, she's a Valley Girl, and there is no cure. Anyway, they talked in this Southern California dude accent, a Valley Girl accent, if you were. They came from the San Fernando Valley area. And so Moon Unit had started making fun of a girl named Andrea in her class. This is all true story. And the song, listen to it, this Valley Girl song, and she starts talking about, hello, I'm Andrea. And she talks like that. And I know Andrea was a real person, and I think her name really was Andrea. And so anyway, yeah, so the song comes out about Valley Girls, and she's making fun of Andrea and saying things like, oh, gag me with a fork, I'm so sure. And so that's how they started out for all of the teenagers. All of us in high school were treated to that song. I come back from California, and I'm like, singing this Valley Girl song, and everyone's like, what are you singing? What is that? And the next thing I know, boom, it explodes all over the country. And everyone's like, yeah, Valley Girl. Then they all knew it. Yeah, Miracle. The reason that I sound British actually is because I was raised by an English teacher. So my mama spoke the King's English, and she made sure that I would always have perfect diction. So I was not allowed to speak like my friends who were Pittsburghers and spoke in Pittsburgh, which I can pull off like a charm, but I don't talk that way normally. So anyway, it was funny. That's a funny story. But yeah, I knew the original Valley Girl people, And that's how the 80s began. And then there were all these crazy movies, right? Like, um, oh, what was one of the first ones? Well, the Saint, what was that? Saint something fire. I'm losing it. I'm 60. I'm losing it. My mind is jello. No, it's not. Hey, Jetty, you taking off? The trolls are back. It makes the world a better place when they are focused on making spitball games. Good one. Anyway, yeah, so that was the beginning of the 80s. Wait, so what was that? St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's Fire, that was it. That movie, that was us. All those Brat Pack people, they were all of us. The Molly, oh gosh, I'm like losing my mind here. I'm trying to come up with these names. I know you guys can help me. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. I look like I'm 40. That's so kind. But again, you know what? Here's the other thing. I don't care. I don't care if I'm old. I'm 60. I love it. I love it. Because if I wasn't 60, then I didn't grow up in the 80s. And the 80s shaped me and who I am. So it's that. We lived on the family ranch in Texas outside Austin. In the 80s, Tracy, is that where you were? I moved to the Jersey Shore actually when I was 17. I graduated high school. That's what my book, Do You Think About Me on My Birthday, is about. So if you want to read it, it's super fun. No, Michael, I'm not ADHD. But it's funny, Miracle. It's funny that you would say that because my kids are like, Mom, you're so ADHD. But really, I'm not. My friends who are ADHD have let me know that I'm definitely not ADHD because I get her done. But yes, I do 100 things at once and I go a mile a minute sometimes, but I still get her done. So I'm still on the Beach Report every single day. I think the problem with ADHD is a lot of times you want to start a million projects and you can't finish any of them. I start a million projects and finish them or I will die trying. Not die, not dead yet, but I will die trying. In the 80s, Grey Ghost worked in a radio. You know, that's the one thing I never really, never worked in radio. Television, that was another thing. So yeah, I started writing for Nickelodeon shows in 1988. Was Don't Just Sit There. Is there anybody who remembers Don't Just Sit There? Miracle said, I see that because I can see what you do is just like me. I do the same thing. And you have ADHD? Miracle, maybe you don't have ADHD. Maybe you're actually just a genius like me. Think about that. Don't let anybody tell you, by the way, that you have a problem. And if you have ADHD or if they've told you you have ADHD, they're probably trying to put you on medication, right? And guess what? You don't need ADHD. I love how It's Me starts. Hey, lady, you're kind of hot. I like the way you're rocking that silver hair. It looks good. You're funny. Yes, it's the first Monday of 2026. You do have ADHD. Do you really, Miracle? Do you really? Or did someone tell you you have ADHD? You know, I know you're a teenager, and I know that the authorities, the people above you, if they're putting you on medication for your ADHD, I with that. When I was a child, when I was in high school in the 80s, a lot of us acted like I do. We might have been told we had ADHD, but we didn't get any medication for it. Well, some of us smoked pot, some of us drank, some of us did whatever, but in general, most of us kids, we worked around it. Maybe I do have ADHD, but I know how to harness it. I don't know. Gracie says, I'm in Texas now. I still live in Texas, just not on the family ranch. My husband passed away, so no more family ranch. His family sold it out. That's sad, Gracie. I'm sorry. But I love that you're here because I know you're one of my fellow widows. It's Me says, I have ADD without the A. That's attention deficit disorder. And ADHD is attention deficit. What does the H stand for? My life was a disaster until I got on the meds. I know. Some people swear by the meds, and I'm not putting you down if you're on meds. Please don't misunderstand me. If they work for you, then they work for you. Hey, Yasbra. Any advice starting a Leering daycare center? Oh, well, if you want to get rich, apparently that's the way to do it. I don't know. But unfortunately, I think that is now up. So maybe not. Don't start a Leering center. Oh, hyperactive. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Okay. All right. Hyper. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really hyper. Yeah, I talk a lot, but I'm not hyper. I'm not like running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Sometimes I do. I like to dance. Oh, my teeth, Jose. Yeah, I know. Everyone talks about my teeth. Let's talk about my teeth, by the way. I am convinced that we humans have the ability to regrow our teeth. Did you know that back in the day, whenever, I don't know, we grew 3 sets of teeth for whatever reason. And apparently now got, I've never seen meds work for anyone. SSRIs are so dangerous. I've seen people lose their whole personality on SSRIs. That's what I think too, just drop. But some people do get help from the meds. Some, I don't know. But anyway, you have brain damage, Miracle. What happened? What happened? Was that from birth or what? Let us know. Let us know. Not that we're nosy, but yeah, we're here for you, Miracle. We're here for you. Okay, so here's the situation with my teeth, with all of our teeth. So apparently there is some kind of oh, I'm learning all these new words. There's something in your tooth that when your teeth grow when you're you're a kid and you lose your teeth and then they grow back in, and it's because your body is telling you, like, I don't know how to say this because I don't know all the right words to say. Let's just, in a nutshell, I believe we all have the ability to regrow our teeth and our bones. And I think that we are much more powerful than anybody gives us credit for. Yeah, we are pre-programmed to regrow teeth 3 times. This is a fact. So I totally believe it's possible, and that's part of being human, is taking control of yourself, of your meat suit, the body that you're in. You have to take control of it, and you have to tell it what to do. So these beautiful teeth the Lord gave me, they're all mine. Well, except for this. There's one that is a crown. But look, I lost this one last year, and I lost these 2. Every time someone in my life dies, I lose a tooth. And I think it is also because I am 60, Jose. Thank you for thinking I'm 50. But again, I don't think that age had anything to do with how old you look or are or any of that stuff. Although the women in Florida, we all look pretty young. It's a thing. Some of the most beautiful women. I have friends in their 70s and 80s, and they are gorgeous. Like, you would never believe that these women are as old as they are. Just saying, it's a fact. If you want to stay young, Miracle, don't drink or take drugs, honestly. And don't eat processed foods. Eat foods. And take some days off of eating. So, by the way, I don't know if you guys heard me before, but right now I will be, in 15 minutes, I will be 40 hours fasted. That's 40 hours, no food, just water, tea, coffee. That's it. And it feels amazing. Are you 70, Teddy? Welcome. We love our older Americans. I think it's a great time to be elderly in America. I really do. We've worked so hard. We have just found out, well, maybe I didn't just find this out. I've known it for a while, but many of us are just finding out that we've been ripped off horribly, horribly by our government that shipped in people from countries that don't jibe with our country, and we've taken them in and been giving them all our money. So that needs to stop. SJ says I started taking 2 tablespoons of unflavored gelatin every day. Changer in my joints. Really? Well, but you put it in water first, right? Yeah, take some days off of eating. Yeah, I've taken off. I'm 40 hours fasted, so I didn't eat yesterday. And actually, I've been doing rolling fasts where I don't eat one day, then I eat the next day. So the day before yesterday, I ate a lot of protein, a lot of eggs, bacon, butter, everything I like eating. I try to stay away from sugar and candy, but when I do want something sweet, I always go for dates. Dates have so many minerals and vitamins in them. And that's the other thing with your teeth. Your teeth need minerals. They need to remineralize. So that's the other thing. I've been listening binaural beats. Wait, I'll play it for you. I think I have it on here. It's like a vibration sound, not really a song, but frequency that helps you regrow your teeth. You know, you can look on YouTube for all these things about regrowing your teeth. Taking days off eating could lead to an eating disorder. Not saying it will, but it could happen. Too late for me, Box. I've had an eating disorder my whole dang life. So the only way for me actually to regulate myself is to stop eating for days. I love it. Basically, I'm giving myself, my body, giving myself a break. People keep telling me that I'm going to have this, that, or the other issue, but look at me. Do I look unhealthy? It's important for me to ask you this question in your lifetime. Bad people that you know are doing bad things ever receive their karma now that they're absolutely. Absolutely. People always receive their karma. Always, Jose. You do get what you put into this lifetime. Even there are people that you think didn't receive their karma, but you don't really ever know what someone else is going through. You don't ever really get to understand their psyche. I've had some very bad people do very bad things to me. And I'm almost a grandma. I will be soon. I don't want to talk about it or jinx it or anything, but people calling me grandma. I used to get mad because being a grandma is the thing that I want to be the most. I'm going to be one. This year, this is the year of the grandma making. Sorry, don't tell anybody. Anyway. This is great wisdom, Alexandra. Don't let anyone ruin your happiness. You are in control of your own happiness. Alexandra just said it all. If I could say one thing, that is what I would say. You're in control of your own happiness. Bo says each of us have a system that is unique to our own experiences and consumptions. Some are best eating 3 times a day and others fasting. Some do well in intermittent fasting. Exactly. But some people don't know that you can fast. Some people have never tried it and think they could never do it, so they do it. I think you should try it. I think it's a wonderful thing, and it's made my life so much better. And yes, I admit I'm a little over caffeinated this morning because I haven't eaten anything since the day before yesterday, but I feel great and I don't feel hungry. Jose says, the reason I asked you just because I've seen bad people do things and still they're doing them like nothing ever happens. Those are called narcissists, Jose. I know. It's kind of infuriating, but at the same time, it's none of your business. God will take care of them. It's not your job to mete out the punishment or any of it. I could tell you some stories about how God has actually used me to smite the bad people. And yes, I am fasting. I am 39 hours and 52 minutes fasted. It's a fact. Anyway, yeah, for lots of reasons. Hi, Daryl. Not just for health, but also to be more in line with God. I feel like more spiritual when I'm fasting. It's not that long, actually. One day without food, that's like nothing. That's like child's play. But fasting is a practice. You do have to practice it. So lately, ever since the new year started, I decided that I would go on an every other day fast. So I fast for one day, and then the next day I eat whatever I want within reason, of course. I'm not eating cookies and cake or anything like that. I try hard to focus on protein. I'll break the fast with. Oh, I just found this. Show you guys this. Getting ready to drink some of this chicken bone broth. I love this stuff. This is new, actually. I just got it from Aldi's, and it says free range. I know there's probably bad things in it. Like there's organic flavor. When they say natural or organic flavor, that's a lie. None of that's real stuff. But anyway, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and it is supposedly organic. I mean, it's better than just buying that, has colors and flavors and stuff. Anyway, it's got 9 grams of protein. And here's what I do with the chicken bone broth that just makes it delectable to me is I will squeeze my favorite things around me. 1 lemon. I'll squeeze a half a lemon, actually. Half a lemon into my stainless steel mug with my glass straw, and half a lemon juice in there, and always shake your bone broth. And then I will do fill it up halfway with the bone broth, and then I take boiling water and I put that on top of it and make it warm to where I like it. Not super hot or anything, just like I like things hot, but not super hot. When I had stomach flu, I had that to help me get my strength back. What, the bone broth? So yeah, thank you, Trevor. Let's see, what else are we saying? Jose says, you're the most inspiring, beautiful inside and out. And I could be that way. Wait, I don't know if you just took it off. Okay, well, anyway, thank you, Jose. Congratulations on your story. There's not many people I see that can be beautiful inside and out. Thank you, Jose. I really do appreciate that. I love all the nice people who come on my show. And but anyway, so my favorite drink is half of a lemon juice. And I don't buy the lemon juice that's in a jar or anything because, my goodness, God puts it in these little self-contained containers, no, they don't last forever, but fresh lemon. Do everything fresh if you can. And anyway, the lemon just makes it amazing. So, and I'll just keep putting in the rest of the lemon and more broth, and I'll just drink that up until I feel good. The last chicken I cooked had incredible broth. My own chicken I raised. Oh God, I can even, I used to live on a farm, and I used to eat eggs from guinea hens. You know what guinea hens look like? They're so pretty. They're all polka dotted, black and white polka dot. They're really cool. And they lay these eggs, and they're like maybe not half the size of chicken eggs, but yeah, the size of chicken eggs. And they have a little bit colored shell. Anyway, their eggs are so delicious. I used to make guinea eggs all the time. So in your lifetime, can you testify that God does exist in your life? Because I don't see him in my life. I see chaos every day, but that's just me, I guess. What say? You have to look for God. Because, yeah, God is everything to me. Sorry, my nose is running a little bit. I don't know why. Anyway, God is everything to me. And I've given up my entire life to him. And I literally make a move unless God makes it for me. So try it out, to use your faith to believe that there is someone who loves you because he made you in his image, and try to give up your, to get rid of your disbelief, give your faith to the Lord, and really ask him, like, give me a sign, ask for a sign. He'll give it to you. You'll know. Hey, miracle. Lots of ways to tell that God's in your life. And I love that miracle has a name, Miracle, because there's a song by the Grateful Dead, I need a miracle every day. So I don't like to think of miracles as something special. I like to think of them as something normal. Expect miracles. Always expect miracles. How do you know you can teach gospel? Well, anyone can teach gospel because it's for everyone. Everything is for everyone. Ask God to reveal himself to you. He loves you and wants you to know him. Exactly. God wants a family more than anything else. He wants you to love him, but you have to choose. He gave you free will because he doesn't want to just be loved by, like the plants and the animals love God, but they don't have free will. They have to love God. We, however, have to choose to love him. And when you choose him, like really choose him, you're going to be amazed at the miracles that come in your life. Just use that lens. We find that which we seek. Well, that's what Bo just said. Blessed is he who is not ashamed of me. That's beautiful. And you can't be ashamed, because if you're ashamed of God, you're ashamed of yourself. And you have to understand that we are so much more powerful than this system all around us. These people who are trying to tell us that we don't matter, that we're just consumers. They're just using us for our money or our resources or our manpower hours, which they're actually even trying to take away with AI. It doesn't mean life will be perfect, that you have the promise that you will not be alone in the life. That is so true too. You are never alone when you have the Lord. And when you are going through really bad times, those are the best times for him to reveal himself to you. Unfortunately, it's true. Because that's when most people reach out to him, is when they're going through hard times. And Miracle, I understand that your name is Miracle for a reason. Because you are a miracle. We are all miracles. And we can have miracles every single day, because miracles are normal. Miracles are real, and God makes them happen. And you can look for those stories. You will find them. If you want to look for bad stuff, you'll find that too. Blessed are the pure, for they shall see God. We are each unique frequencies and connected by energy. That's right. That's right. And, Liquor says they're an atheist, but your name is Liquor. So maybe you are praying to spirits. Because that's what alcohol is. It's spirits. Many of the stores are called. So think about what you want in life. And if you're an atheist, does that make you happy? Do you think that everything around you was just fell here and by miracle I'm in a house because this appeared? No. Houses are designed. Everything is designed. So if you think that nobody designed this for you and that it just kind of fell here, big bang, whoosh, whoosh, oh my gosh, look, trees and grass and oceans and sand and birds and all that stuff. Who built that, atheist? It wasn't a person. Think about it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm repeating myself, Bone, but each their own. It's called free will. Who do you think it was then, Liquor? Who was it if it wasn't Jesus? If it wasn't God? Who was it? Maybe you believe in someone else, but you're not an atheist. Because if you're an atheist, you're just walking around thinking, what? I don't understand. I don't understand how you live without believing in a creator. It just doesn't make any sense. But it is your free will to be that way. So anyway, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. That's true too. If you want to believe in Muhammad, then you're not an atheist. You're an Islamist. So, do you know what an atheist is, Liquor? Yeah, you can lead a horse, exactly. If you're a Buddhist, if you believe in Buddha, then you're a Buddhist, and you're not an atheist. Okay? But the reason why I don't believe in Muhammad or Buddha is because I was raised Jewish, and I believe in the Ten Commandments. And the first commandment of the commandments is to have no other gods before God. So that's why I don't believe in Buddha or Muhammad. I know they were people, and that's fine. And I used to think the same was true for Jesus. He was nobody too, because that's how I was raised. And then I lived in the real world, and I observed everything. And 2018, I decided it was time for me to embrace my love of Jesus Christ. Even though I was raised to not know who he was and to not care, I understood. Kind of, it wasn't like all of a sudden, but it was like all my life it just came into this one point where I'm like, I want Jesus in my life, and I want to be baptized, and I want to be born again. So I did that. That's right, Jesus is recognized by most scriptures, including Islam. And these are all books written by men. Maybe not, I don't know. The Bible has a lot of true stuff in it. However, that said, I love scripture. I love to read the Bible. I love to learn from the Bible, because as a Jew, I was raised on the books of Moses. So that's what I always knew. And I love to it now with Jesus's life, and learn so much about that. And yes, all these people are in the Bible, so I'm pretty sure that they were real and they lived. And there are people called scribes. I am also I'm a writer. This is what we do. So, well, if you want to believe in lies, Liquor, that you want to believe that you created the world, the earth, or something, I don't know. You don't even seem to know what an atheist is. So there's that. But I know that God is not a lie, and that my life has everything to do with God, and that my faith is why my life is so good. And every time thing bad happens to me, I look to the Lord, and he kind of explains it, and I'm okay with it. So good things happen, and you realize that the bad things also happen. So you get to know good from bad that way. Oh, Liquor was abducted by aliens now. I think maybe you're not even a real person. Maybe you're a bot. Maybe you're just here to mess with us. I don't know. But yeah, yes, we're all curious, Bo. How does Liquor think the world was constructed? But I think we can see now that Liquor saying that they were abducted by aliens, probably not a real person, or maybe paid to come here and say crap. Yeah, Jesus into the world for the atheists and the sinners, and the Jews, to learn, to teach them. So, okay, what a Liquor. I don't know. You can't convince me that God isn't real, because I know the truth. And Jesus is the truth. All right. Well, to you, Liquor, you did it to yourself. You had the free will. You came on the beach report and schooled. So see you later. Bye. Hi, Joseph. All right, you guys. Well, I think I've had it. I am working on 2 different books right now. I remember someone earlier told me to get a job, but this is my job, and I have to get back to work. So I am very glad for the time that I'm so glad we had this time together. Who knows what that means? Yeah, I like to throw in those little Gen X references. I know Bo doesn't like it when I say Gen X, but it's just a letter in the alphabet. It doesn't mean anything to me other than the fact that I'm from the wildest craziest generation there ever was. We are completely, we were the feral children. We're the people who wouldn't wear masks during the pandemic. We're the people who wouldn't take this. We're the people who told everybody to go blow when they told us to be like that or be like this one. We're all individualists. So that's what my show is today. It's about being an individual. Please, everybody, try hard to be individual. You need to have account for yourself. Be accountable. And when you talk to people, treat them with respect unless they show you that they don't deserve respect. But you choose how you react to other people. You choose how you show up in the world. So if Liquor wants to show up as a Liquor in a spacesuit, that's fine. You do what you want. But we know who you are. So you show everyone who you are. You do that yourself. All right, you guys, that's my beach report for this morning. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I did. We'll see you on the next beach report. I see the sun shining. That's what's great about Florida. And God willing, we will have a beautiful sunset tonight that I can show you from the beach. All right, you guys, before I go, I would ask you to please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm trying to hit 15,000 followers because, you know, the more followers that the Beach Report has, the better things that we can do. You know, I'm a journalist, so it's not like it's hard for me to get to do press trips and show you guys really cool things and get cool interviews, but it's also a lot more helpful when, 13.7 is great and everything, but at least get me over 15,000. I know I can do better. And you guys can help me because I can't do it myself. I need your help. So like and subscribe. And also please check out jillbooks.com. Consider buying a book from me, whether it's my book that I wrote. There's 2 books there that I wrote, and there is another book by Joshua Daniel Hayes called Still Standing, which is an incredible story of child abuse. And I think everybody would really benefit from reading this book because it actually, if you go through child abuse, and it does help you if you did, like Josh did, but it also helps those of us who didn't recognize what it looks like. Because it doesn't always, screaming, beating kids right in front of your face. A lot of times the child abuse it's subtle, but it is up to all of us to take care of people around us. Jose says, your message is inspiring, but God doesn't love all of us in Chicago. People were separated, beat up, and kidnapped, working people, so I believe God loves only certain kinds of people. Well, that's not true. That's not true at all, Jose. God loves everyone. But maybe the people who are going through the hard times, they need to pray to God. And He'll help them. He'll get them through it. Sometimes you go through very, very, very bad circumstances. A lot of us do. But those of us who survived those very bad circumstances, we learned something. So I'm sorry for people facing those kinds of hardships. But you know what? Everything has a reason. And I'm not saying that anyone deserves it, but I was almost knocked off the streets once. Well, not twice. No, once I was almost kidnapped. Another time I was mugged. I didn't deserve that to happen, but I learned from it. It was horrible when it happened, but I learned from it. We all kind of go through life on our own. Again, this is what this show is about. These are individuals, and the individuals have to take care of themselves. So look towards yourself. Don't worry about the other people, Jose. You're not on their journey. You're on your own journey. And you choose if your journey will be good. If you are constantly surrounding yourself with negativity and stories of horrible things happening to other people, and you are kind of asking for it. So I say you stop looking there and try to find positive things to do with your life. Maybe help people. Maybe do something that makes you feel good. Maybe go to the beach. Hi, Danny. I am Elvis Presley's distant cousin, and Elvis is still alive today in Arkansas at 90 years old. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I hope you're right. I hope you're right. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you have been inspired by today's speech report, and that you will look at other people as individuals, all deserving your respect, and God loves every single one of us, and you're on your own journey. You choose how you show up on that journey. All right, you guys, I'm gonna say ciao for now. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, Elvis is a preacher in his own church in Arkansas. Well, Danny, hook me up. I want to go meet him. That would be amazing. I hope you're right. All right, you guys. Ciao for now.